Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever been in a situation where a man you care about, maybe your boyfriend, your crush, or even someone you're dating, suddenly starts ignoring you? No more texts, no calls, no effort. And your mind races with questions. Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? Is he talking to someone else? Should I confront him? Should I wait? It's emotionally exhausting, right? But before you start panicking, overthinking, or even chasing him for answers, pause. Because today, we're diving into the psychology behind why men sometimes ignore women, and more importantly, what you should do when it happens. Not emotionally, not impulsively, but strategically and calmly. We're going to explore psychological triggers, emotional dynamics, and power balance in relationships, so you can walk away from this video not just understanding his behavior, but knowing exactly how to handle it in a way that earns respect, preserves your dignity, and may even shift the relationship dynamic in your favor. So get comfortable, because this might just be the video that changes the way you respond to emotional distance forever. Let's dive in. The psychology of why men ignore women. Let's begin with the why. One, he's testing boundaries. Sometimes, when a man starts ignoring you, he's not doing it to hurt you. He's doing it to see how you'll react. This is called a compliance test in psychology. He wants to know, how much control do I have over her emotions? If you chase, double text, beg, or panic, he gets his answer. He now knows you value him more than you value your self-respect. And in many cases, once he gets that confirmation, the interest drops. Not because you're not worthy, but because you handed over your power. 2, he feels overwhelmed or suffocated. Men handle emotional stress differently. When a man feels overwhelmed, he often retreats to process things silently. It could be unrelated to you, work, family, finances, but instead of talking about it, he distances himself. Psychologically, this is known as the cave mentality. Unlike women, who often seek connection in stress, men pull back. They want to solve things in silence. Unfortunately, many women interpret this as rejection. 3, he's emotionally conflicted. Sometimes he likes you, but he's not sure he's ready for emotional commitment. So he withdraws to analyze how he feels. But instead of communicating this, he just ghosts or ignores you. Psychology calls this an avoidant attachment style. These men fear emotional vulnerability. So when intimacy deepens, they subconsciously pull away to regain emotional control. 4, he's losing interest but doesn't want to say it. This one hurts, but it happens. Some men don't have the emotional maturity to say, hey, I'm not feeling it anymore. Instead, they take the coward's path, silence. This creates confusion and keeps you hanging. Why? Because if they ever change their mind, they want you to still be available. This is called breadcrumbing in psychology, leaving just enough signs to keep you hoping. 5, he's trying to regain power in the dynamic. Sometimes the man starts feeling like he's too emotionally involved, and he wants to reassert control. By ignoring you, he puts himself in a position of power. Psychologically, this is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same psychological pattern that keeps people addicted to slot machines. It's toxic, but understanding it gives you power. What not to do when he ignores you. Now that we've covered why he might be ignoring you, let's talk about what you absolutely should not do when this happens. 1, don't chase him. Don't text him 10 times. Don't ask what you did wrong. Chasing a man who's pulling away never works. It only confirms to him that he can disrespect you and still keep you around. 2, don't create drama. Avoid emotional outbursts. Don't send long emotional texts. It might feel satisfying in the moment, but it almost always backfires. You may end up looking insecure or unstable, which only pushes him further away. 3, don't try to make him jealous. Trying to get attention by flirting with other guys or posting thirst traps on social media may seem tempting, but it often comes off as transparent or desperate. Plus, if he doesn't care, it won't work. If he does care, he'll lose trust. 4, don't stalk his social media. You don't need to keep checking when he was last online or who he's following. That behavior keeps you trapped in obsession. Instead of gaining clarity, you just increase your anxiety. 5. Don't beg for his attention. No man is attracted to desperation. You're not a child asking for candy. You're a queen, and queens don't beg. If you ask him to please talk to me, you've already given your power away. What you should do instead. Now let's talk about the right way to respond. These moves are rooted in psychological principles of confidence, mystery, and emotional self-control. 1. Pause and reflect. Before reacting, take a step back. Ask yourself, what do I really want from this person? Are you reacting because you're emotionally attached, or because you truly value the connection? Clarity leads to power. Desperation leads to mistakes. 2. Match his energy. If he's pulling away, you pull back too. Not out of revenge, but out of emotional alignment. People value what they have to earn. By mirroring his behavior, you reset the power balance. 3. Shift the focus to you. Instead of obsessing over him, pour energy into your own life. Go to the gym, hang out with friends, learn something new, start a passion project. Journal your thoughts. Psychologically, this is called redirected attention, and it helps break the addiction loop. 4. Maintain high value. Value isn't in words, it's in action. If you keep living a fulfilling life, staying mysterious, and not chasing him, he will notice. Men are biologically wired to pursue value, not cling to convenience. 5. Set boundaries. Eventually, if he comes back around, and most do, you'll need to set boundaries. You can say, I noticed you were distant for a while. I value open communication. If that's not something you can offer, I respect that, but I also need that in my life. This shows emotional intelligence and self-respect, 2 traits that men deeply admire, even if they don't say it. 6. Let silence speak. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response. Silence triggers curiosity. It forces him to wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, and whether he still has access to you. This is Psychology 101. People value what they fear losing. What happens when you respond the right way? So what actually happens when you follow this advice? 1. He becomes curious. When you don't chase him, he starts wondering, why isn't she reacting? This taps into the psychology of uncertainty, which is a powerful emotional trigger. Curiosity often leads to re-engagement. 2. He re-evaluates his behavior. Men sometimes act emotionally without realizing how it affects others. But your calm, detached response forces him to reflect. When you act high value, he has no choice but to consider, am I losing someone rare? 3. You regain emotional control. By shifting the focus back to yourself, you take back the emotional power he had over you. This is called self-reinforcement in psychology, where your confidence doesn't come from others, but from within. 4. You filter out the wrong men. If he truly doesn't care, your silence will push him further away, and that's a blessing. Why? Because now you know. You no longer have to wait around for someone who doesn't value you. 5. You set the tone for future interactions. Whether he comes back or not, your response sets the standard. You become someone who doesn't tolerate emotional manipulation. And guess what? That's incredibly attractive, not just to him, but to anyone you'll meet in the future. Final advice: psychology-backed confidence boosters. To wrap things up, here are some psychology-based confidence boosters to keep in mind when a man ignores you. 1. Remember, rejection is redirection. If he's ignoring you permanently, it's not the end, it's just a redirection towards someone better. Psychologically, people who are resilient reframe pain into opportunity. 2. Anchor your worth internally. Your value does not decrease because someone fails to see it. Repeat this affirmation: I do not chase, I attract. What belongs to me will find me. 3. Use detachment as a superpower. Detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means being rooted in self-worth, no longer depending on external approval for emotional peace. 4. Study patterns, not promises. Words are cheap. Study how he treats you consistently, not what he says in moments of guilt or passion. Psychology says behavior never lies. 5. Let go of control. You can't control his actions, but you can control your reaction. That's where your power lies. So the next time a man ignores you, don't panic. Don't chase, don't beg, don't question your worth. Instead, step back, breathe, focus on yourself. Let your silence do the talking. Because the truth is, how you react when you're being ignored speaks louder than any message you could ever send. It's not about playing games. It's about emotional maturity. It's about knowing your worth. And it's about never settling for less than you deserve. If he values you, he'll come correct. If he doesn't, someone else will. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, comment below with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more psychology-based insights into love, relationships, and human behavior. Remember, your peace of mind is more important than anyone's inconsistent attention, and you deserve someone who makes you feel chosen, not confused. Until next time, stay confident, stay grounded, and never forget your worth.